Welcome to SAP Business Technology Platform Security Basics. Let's explore how BTP keeps your applications and data safe. BTP uses built-in security features like identity authentication and data encryption to protect your digital assets. For example, when users log into your app, BTP verifies their identity before granting access. This ensures your solutions remain secure from unauthorized access throughout their lifecycle. We will learn about login security and access control. This means ensuring only authorized users can enter the system and then controlling what they can see and do once inside. For example, an employee logs in securely but can only view their own department's data, not others. These measures are essential for protecting your business applications and information. You will understand how to manage who can do what in BTP. This means controlling user access to applications, data, and development tools. For example, you could grant your developers access to build apps while restricting the finance team to only view financial reports. This precise control is the foundation of security and compliance in the cloud. This knowledge helps prevent security issues. Understanding security basics means you can spot risks before they become problems. For example, knowing to set strong passwords prevents unauthorized access to your company's data. Applying these principles consistently safeguards your applications and information. BTP security is built with multiple protection layers. Think of security like an onion with multiple layers. Each layer adds protection, so if one is breached, others still defend. For example, a BTP app uses user login, data encryption, and network controls. No single security measure is foolproof, but together they create strong, resilient protection for your applications and data. Identity layer, who are you? This layer verifies user identities before granting system access. For example, employees log in using their corporate credentials instead of creating separate accounts. This ensures only authorized individuals can interact with your BTP applications and data. Proper identity management is your first security checkpoint. Access layer, what can you do? This defines the specific actions and operations a user is permitted to perform once they have access to a system. For example, a developer might be allowed to deploy applications but cannot modify user authorizations. This ensures users only perform tasks aligned with their job responsibilities, maintaining security and operational integrity. Network layer, where are you connecting from? This determines if your connection location is trusted, like checking which road you are using to enter a building. For example, SAP might block login attempts from unrecognized countries. This ensures only approved network paths can access your systems. Each layer adds protection. This means security measures are stacked, so if one layer is compromised, others still defend. For example, a building has a fence, locked doors, and an alarm system. Breaching one does not grant full access. This layered approach ensures comprehensive security for your applications and data. Identity and access management basics. IAM answers to important questions. It determines who can access your SAP systems and what they are allowed to do. For example, an employee in the sales department can view customer records but cannot approve financial invoices. This ensures every user has precisely the permissions they need for their role. Who are you? Identity. This means verifying a user's unique digital identity. For instance, when you log into a system with your unique employee ID, it confirms you are a specific, authorized individual. Establishing identity is the essential first step before granting any system access. What can you do? Access. This defines the specific actions you are permitted to perform on a service or application. For instance, you could be granted access to only view data in a business application but not modify it. This precise control ensures users have just the permissions they need to complete their tasks. BTP uses IAM to manage users and permissions. This means it controls who can access services and what actions they are allowed to perform. For example, you can grant a developer permission to deploy applications but restrict them from viewing financial data. This centralized control ensures secure and efficient access management across your BTE landscape. This is your main tool for security administration. Think of it as a central control panel where you manage who can access what in your SAP systems. For example, you can grant sales teams access to customer data while restricting HR files. With this tool, you efficiently enforce security policies across all applications. Authentication, proving your identity in the enterprise. Authentication verifies your identity. This means the system confirms you are who you claim to be before granting access. For example, you log into your email by entering your correct password. This process ensures that only you, the legitimate user, can access your personal account and information. Like showing ID to enter a building. This means you must present credentials to prove your identity before being granted access. For instance, you provide a username and password to log into your company's system. This initial step is essential for ensuring only authorized individuals can proceed. BTP supports different login methods. This means you can verify your identity through various secure options like passwords, single sign-on, or multi-factor authentication. For example, employees might use their corporate credentials to access both email and BTP services seamlessly. This flexibility ensures secure and convenient access across your organization's ecosystem. SAML Enterprise Single Sign-On. This standard enables users to log in once and access multiple enterprise applications seamlessly. For instance, an employee logs into the company portal and can then open SAP SuccessFactors without another login. This streamlines access while maintaining security across your business systems. OAuth App-to-App Authentication. This allows applications to securely communicate with each other without exposing user passwords. For example, a travel booking app can access your calendar data with your permission, but without needing your login details. This method ensures that applications interact safely and only access what they are authorized to use. Basic username and password. This method verifies your identity using a unique username paired with a secret password. For instance, logging into your email account requires you to enter both your username and password to prove it is really you. This is the most common and straightforward way to confirm who you are in digital systems. Let's examine authentication in the BTP cockpit. Open BTP cockpit in your browser. This means launching the web interface where you manage your SAP Business Technology Platform services. For example, just like logging into your online banking portal to view accounts, you access the cockpit to oversee your applications and security. It's your starting point for all platform management tasks. Click your user profile in top right. This opens your account menu where you can manage security settings. For instance, if you need to reset your password or check your login details, this is where you start. It is the first step to accessing all your personal authentication controls in the cockpit. Notice the login methods available. This means BTP supports multiple secure ways to access your account, like using your company's single sign-on or a standard username and password. For example, an employee might log in using their corporate ID instead of creating a separate BTP password. Choosing the right method enhances both security and convenience for your users. Different organizations use different methods. This means companies can choose how users prove their identity when logging into the BTP cockpit. For instance, one company might use a standard username and password, while another uses a single sign-on from their corporate network. This flexibility allows each organization to select the authentication that best fits their existing security setup. This is configured by your administrator. This means your IT team sets up who can log in and access different parts of the BTP cockpit. For example, they decide which developers can deploy applications to a specific sub-account. Ultimately, this centralized control keeps your platform access secure and properly managed. Authorization, controlling what you can do. Authorization determines your permissions. This means it defines exactly which actions you are allowed to perform in a system. For instance, in an HR app, you might be authorized to view employee data but not to edit salaries. Ultimately, this control is fundamental to maintaining security and proper workflow. Like having different keys for different rooms. This means each user only accesses what they need. For example, an HR employee can view salary data but not financial reports, just as a master key opens all doors while others open only specific ones. This ensures users perform their roles securely and efficiently. Roles define what actions you can perform. This means each role is assigned specific permissions, allowing only certain tasks. For example, an employee role may let you view your payslip, but not change anyone else's. By assigning roles, administrators ensure users only access what they are permitted to use. Users get assigned specific roles. This means each person receives permissions matching their job duties. For example, an accounts payable clerk would get a role allowing them to create vendors and process invoices, but not to approve large payments. This precise assignment ensures individuals only have access to the tools necessary for their work. Different roles for different job functions. This means each user gets permissions matching their job. For instance, an HR manager can view employee salaries, while a salesperson cannot. This ensures users access only what they need to perform their duties securely and efficiently. Proper role assignment keeps business operations safe and streamlined. Understanding BTP roles in the enterprise. Roles are collections of permissions. This means each role bundles specific actions a user can perform, like viewing data or creating reports. For example, an analyst role may allow reading sales data but not modifying it. Properly assigning roles ensures users have just the access they need to do their jobs effectively. Global Account Administrator, full access. This means they can manage everything in the global account, from creating sub-accounts to assigning all other roles. For instance, they are the only ones who can initially set up a new development environment for a company. Ultimately, they have the highest level of control over the account's resources and users. Sub-account Administrator, sub-account access. This role grants full control over a specific sub-account, including managing services and user authorizations. For example, an administrator can provision new databases and assign developer roles within their designated project space. This ensures they have the necessary permissions to configure and secure their environment effectively. Service-specific roles, limited to specific services. This means the permissions apply only to one particular BTP service, not the entire platform. For example, a role might let you only work with the SAP HANA Cloud Database service without access to analytics or integration tools. This focused approach ensures secure, task-aligned access for users. You can have multiple roles at once. This means your single BTP account can be assigned several different job functions simultaneously, like developer and administrator. For instance, you could build an application and also manage user access for your team, all under one login. This flexibility streamlines your work by eliminating the need to switch between separate accounts for different tasks. How to check your roles in the BTP cockpit? Go to your BTP cockpit. This means logging into the web interface where you manage your SAP Business Technology Platform account. For instance, if you need to verify your permissions, you would sign in there first. Always start here to access and review your assigned roles securely. Click your user profile in top right. This opens a menu where you can access your personal account settings and assigned roles. For instance, if you need to verify your developer permissions, clicking here shows your roles immediately. This simple action ensures you always know your access level in BTP. Select Show My Roles. This action displays all roles assigned to your user in the BTP cockpit, clarifying your permissions. For example, as a developer, you can verify if you have the role to deploy applications. Knowing your roles ensures you work within your authorized capabilities. See what roles you currently have. This means viewing your assigned permissions in SAP BTP cockpit. For example, as a developer, you might check if you have the space developer role to deploy applications. Understanding your roles ensures you can perform your required tasks effectively. Notice the different permission levels. This means each role grants specific cockpit access, like viewing data or managing services. For example, an auditor might only view reports while an admin can modify security settings. Understanding these distinctions ensures users have appropriate access for their responsibilities. Security zones, organizing your environment. Security zones group similar security requirements. This means you can organize your cloud landscape into areas with matching protection levels. For instance, place development and testing sub-accounts in one low-security zone, while production systems reside in a separate high-security zone. This structure ensures consistent and appropriate security controls are applied across your environment. Like having different security levels in a building. This means you can separate your development, testing, and production environments, each with its own security rules. For instance, developers can experiment in the development zone without risking the live production system. This structure ensures that security is tailored and risks are minimized at every stage. Production zone, highest security. This means your live production systems handling real business data have the strictest access controls and monitoring. For example, only a few authorized administrators can directly access the production payroll application. This ensures your most critical operations are protected from unauthorized changes or threats. Development zone, lower security. This means fewer security restrictions to enable faster innovation and testing. For example, developers can freely deploy experimental code here without strict access controls. This flexibility accelerates building and refining applications before they move to more secure zones. Test zone, medium security. This means environments where security is balanced with development flexibility, allowing testing of applications with realistic data protection. For example, a pre-production environment where developers validate new features before go-live. This setup ensures your testing remains secure yet practical for innovation. Trust configurations for working with other systems. Trust lets BTP work securely with other systems. This means BTP can safely connect and share data with external platforms without compromising security. For example, BTP can securely pull customer data from Salesforce to personalize marketing campaigns. This ensures seamless and protected integration across your business applications. Like having trusted partners who can visit. This means systems you approve can access your SAP BTP environment without needing separate logins each time. For example, a trusted HR system can automatically pull employee data for reports. This setup creates seamless and secure integration between your applications. Identity Provider Trust Connect Company Login. This allows users to access your SAP BTP applications using their existing corporate login credentials. For example, employees can sign in with their Microsoft Azure AD accounts instead of creating new passwords. This streamlines access while leveraging your established company security. Application Trust allow apps to access BTP. This means granting external applications permission to securely connect and use services within the SAP Business Technology Platform. For example, a custom mobile app could retrieve customer data from BTP. This setup enables seamless and secure integration across different systems. Configured in security settings. This means you set up trust relationships where SAP BTP securely connects to external systems like identity providers. For instance, allowing employees to log into your BTP app using their corporate Microsoft 365 credentials. This centralized setup ensures all access is managed safely and consistently. Multi-factor authentication provides an extra layer of security. MFA adds an extra login step. This means beyond your password, you must provide another proof of identity, like a code from your phone. For example, after entering your password, you might need to enter a code sent via SMS. This layered approach significantly strengthens your account's security against unauthorized access. Like needing a code from your phone plus password. This means you combine something you know, like a password, with something you have, such as your mobile device generating a temporary code. For example, logging into your email might require entering your password and then a code texted to your phone. This dual-step process significantly strengthens your account's defense against unauthorized access. Makes unauthorized access much harder. This means even if someone steals your password, they cannot log in without your second verification step. For example, if you receive a code on your phone that only you can use. This significantly strengthens your account's security against attackers. Often required for administrator accounts. This means users with high-level access must verify their identity multiple ways before entry. For instance, an admin logging in would need both their password and a code from their phone. This added step ensures critical systems remain secure from unauthorized access. Becoming standard for all users means MFA will soon be required for everyone accessing SAP systems. For instance, logging into your company portal would need both your password and a code from your phone. This consistent requirement ensures every login is verified, significantly strengthening our overall security posture against unauthorized access. Putting it all together, security flow. User logs in authentication. This means verifying the person's identity, like confirming they are who they claim to be. For example, an employee enters their username and password to access the company portal. This initial step ensures that only legitimate users can proceed into the system, securing all subsequent interactions. BTP checks user identity. This means it verifies who you are before granting access. For example, when an employee logs into a company app, BTP confirms their login details are correct. This ensures only authorized individuals can use the system and its data, maintaining security. System determines user roles, authorization. This means BTP automatically identifies what permissions a user has based on their job. For example, when an employee logs in, the system checks if they are a manager or a salesperson and grants appropriate access. This ensures users only see and do what they are allowed to, maintaining security and compliance. User accesses only what their roles allow. This means each person's permissions are strictly defined like keys to specific rooms. For instance, an HR specialist can view employee records but cannot access financial reports. This ensures individuals interact solely with data and functions relevant to their job responsibilities, maintaining a secure and organized system. Security zones and trust control external access. This means you group systems into secure areas and define which ones can communicate. For example, a development zone might be blocked from directly accessing the production zone containing live customer data. This setup ensures only approved, secure connections are permitted between different environments. Practice what you have learned. Log into your BTP cockpit. This means accessing the central web interface where you manage your SAP Business Technology Platform account and services. For example, a developer would log in to deploy a new application and check its resource usage. This is your starting point for all BTP activities. Check your current roles and permissions. This means verifying what actions you are allowed to perform in SAP BTP, like accessing services or viewing data. For example, a developer checks if they can deploy an application to the Cloud Foundry environment. Knowing your access level is essential for working efficiently and securely on the platform. Look at the authentication methods available. This means identifying the different ways users can securely log into your applications, such as passwords or single sign-on. For example, employees might use their corporate credentials to access multiple cloud services without re-entering them. Understanding these options helps you choose the right security for your solution. Identify security zones in your organization. This means categorizing your network into segments with different security levels, like public, internal, and restricted areas. For example, your public website is in a low security zone, while your employee payroll system is in a high security, restricted zone. This foundational practice is essential for protecting your most critical assets and data. Remember, security protects everyone. This means every user, application, and piece of data needs safeguards from unauthorized access. For example, a developer building an app must use authentication so only approved employees can view sensitive company data. Strong security ensures the entire system remains trustworthy and reliable for all its users. You have successfully learned the basics of BTP security. You now understand BTP security layers. This means you know how security is structured at different levels, like global accounts, sub-accounts, and applications, to protect resources. For example, you can manage user access separately for development and production environments. This layered approach ensures comprehensive protection across your BTP landscape. You know the difference between authentication and authorization. Authentication is verifying who you are, like logging into your email. Authorization then determines what you can access, such as reading certain folders. For instance, after entering your office building, authentication, your keycard, authorization, only opens specific doors. Mastering this distinction is fundamental to applying BTP security effectively. You can identify roles and permissions. This means determining which users can access specific apps or data. For example, an HR manager might have permission to view employee salaries, while a team member cannot. Understanding this helps ensure the right people have the right access securely. You are ready to apply these concepts in real scenarios. This means you can now use security fundamentals practically. For instance, when developing an app, you will know to implement user authentication to ensure only authorized personnel access sensitive data. Keep building on this foundation as you progress. Keep practicing with the BTP cockpit. This means regularly logging in to explore and try out different features yourself. For example, create a trial account and try assigning user roles to a simple application. The more you use it, the more confident you'll become in managing security settings.